Hello and welcome everyone, this is Blackadder at Blackadder's Place. Welcome to the Thursday stream, as opposed to what I was expecting. Well, we're not gonna be casting last epoch today, but there is live Age of Mythology tournament, and it kinda works rather nicely. So with the last epoch, I'm gonna have to apparently contact them for the key into the beta first. So it's not gonna be as simple, so hopefully next week it's gonna be already workable. And yeah, well, in the meantime, today we're gonna be having another 2v2 tournament as we had on Sunday, hosted by Count. So we're gonna be having some quite nice quality team games in Age of Mythology. So if you're interested in the brackets, there's a command in the title. And it's gonna be giving you the bracket for today's tournament. We're gonna be right now casting match between Count with Domantas, and they are playing, or rather Count with matreiuss, and they're playing against Domantas+Shelty. Quite a solid match right to begin with. And the other semifinals are Shelby with I Kill You Die and Hero OP with Gold Lion. And then of course there's gonna be finals, bronze match. So we should be in for about like 2 to 3 hours of quite nice quality Age of Mythology. And well, we're gonna be apparently starting sometime soon. So let's get prepared and let players know that we are already ready for the games to begin for them. It's going to be right now. The gods are fairly all across the place. You can see Hades, Poseidon, Ra and Odin. Right now switching into the Thor in there for Count. Something a bit more expected, to be honest, from him, especially in tournament setting at this point. So let's gonna start. We're gonna be heading into first one with Count and matreiuss, playing apparently Thor and Poseidon. It's gonna be quite a lot of horses and ready setting with Domantas and Shelty. That's gonna be Hades and Odin. So potentially quite a lot of raiding as well, but the Odin could be certainly heading for a few Ulfsarks, even that is certainly not impossible. And backed up by the archers, oh well, might be some kind of idea for them. At any rate, we're gonna be starting apparently the first map on Savannah, as the maps are going to be random. Teams are having one veto in best of 3. We are playing best of 3 the matches, and it can be called in about 90 seconds if I remember correctly. And that can be rerolling the map if they want, basically be having luck on another map. You can see quite a nice combination of zebras and gazelles here to the bottom. And so all the way to the top, there was quite a nice gold mine already for Domantas, close by to the TC. Kind of, no, well, not exactly like guarded by the towers all that much, but this nice huge wood line on the right flank is gonna be certainly helping in keeping it safer for the players. Great Knight has been already cast. It's gonna be right now by the teal player, the teammate of Domantas. And he has cast it on, oh well, the combination of right now the gazelles and the zebras. Getting of course plenty of hunt at the very start. And he doesn't have any kind of goats yet, it seems. He has started on the chickens all the way to the top. And it's fairly interesting because this was all in range. He definitely could have seen that. Well, definitely, probably have seen that at the very start, and therefore maybe he didn't just want to kill them, as he wanted to be having the great hunt at the highest efficiency, which still is, no, probably didn't need to be waiting for that all that much, as obviously zebras are 200 food, and overall you can be getting 750 food from the great hunt, and it works in a way that it basically doesn't go over. So it would be going for, like, for example, 3 zebras and like 1 gazelle, that would be exactly 750. It wouldn't be going for 4 zebras. It would be giving you 3 zebras if you were having only the zebras in there. Anyway, it's gonna be some random one all the way to the top, as matreiuss is gonna be casting Lure. And he's gonna be all the way on the other side of the map, casting it right next to the TC, as he apparently has already found plenty of the hunt on the right side, which seems to be honest, kind of far away from him. So I wouldn't be surprised all that much if actually one of those could be even lured by that. Really, as we said, I think it was actually yesterday that we were talking about it on the community stream. It definitely should be explored. What is the minimal range of the lure, so that, well, players will be knowing where they need to be casting it, not to basically take even their own hunt in that. Quite a nice gold mine all the way to the top. The berries are kind of secondary, but the gold is certainly nice, especially combined with the combination of this gold mine and the TC. So the front TC right about now for matreiuss is rather nice. And even though you could be thinking that this one is not all that great for a back in action, aka Shelty, either, it is still going to be giving him a bit of a chance of blocking this gold mine, and it of course in the late game gonna be helpful, for example, for continuing a gold trade route from about here all the way to the TC at the bottom, or basically the other way around. Doesn't really matter all that much, but I'm thinking a bit more from the top to the bottom, because going into this TC with trade caravans would be probably quite risky and might be coming through some kind of battlefield. Now, gonna be a few relics all around, tower ranged and melee attack. That might be helpful in some cases, especially since we're gonna be seeing a lot of raiding here. Better Mythology Crush Armor, you can be doing without that one, and Blue Crystal Shard for wood and gold get rates. That's gonna be certainly helpful for the players, especially in the early game. We had about 3 minutes 15, so you're gonna be waiting where the players are gonna be dropping temples and stuff, and you can see already that count is going fairly curiously, quite far away from the base and a bit more into the middle. So it seems to me they will want to somehow reinforce the middle between them and Matreiuss, between himself and Matreiuss in here. So kinda curious, maybe they want to be doing that because of the hunt in the middle that they still want to be even using. Certainly a possibility for them. Welcome to the stream, Farseer. Hope you're gonna be having fun with the 2v2 games in the tournament hosted by Count, as the gold mine all the way to the back seems to be fairly okay. And how's it gonna be looking with those forest fires potential? For Thor and Odin, they could be coming forward, so basically both teams are gonna be having one. As Freya is already coming forward, will just kill animals in single shot. Well, on Savannah it actually doesn't have to be all that bad, especially if you're gonna be having some bigger animals, which I haven't seen yet. This seems to be the spawn without all that many rhinos, or potentially even elephants, basically only zebras and stuff like that. I really don't see any kind of big animals here, so it's gonna be just making sure that they can be killing easily, for example, the hyenas, or, well, not exactly the berries, but it's gonna be even helpful when you think about it, for example, even against the normal hunt, because usually you need to be taking like at least 2 shots to be killing, like, for example, the zebra, the gazelles, and whatever like that. And if they are not gonna be allowed to be roaming all that freely after that one hit, well, efficiency is born. Well, that is certainly something to be keeping an eye. So such a relic can be making a difference even there, as 440 is gonna be advanced time for plenty of the players. Domantas advancing through Athena, as the Hades, and the last advance is gonna be quite late for Shelty at Odin. So that's fairly curious actually, that he's advancing this late. That seems to be telling me that he could be heading for the second TZ fairly promptly. As he's already walling on the right flank, that's gonna be on the wall still needed all the way into the corner. As on the other side of the map, that's gonna be, sorry, Domantas already scouting behind the enemy base and kind of trying to see if maybe there is a good target for the forest fire for them. Okay, so Blue is gonna be getting the good relic that we have been talking about. So far he's having only one temple, and it really seems that he actually really built the temple this way so that he can be protecting slightly better this hunt, and he really wants that because he doesn't have all that much of it on the left. He's having only the berries, and behind the bases they really don't have anything all that much. Just each of the players is having one of the berry bushes, and they are kind of right now looking to be having a bit more in the middle still used for their purposes. Okay, so right now this is gonna be red force of the hunt. Kinda interesting position of the prayer. Definitely would be safer all the way from the bottom in there. As forest fire is already cast all the way to the left, and it actually did some kind of damage. You can see it through villages. Plenty of them are like half health, so they're gonna be a whole lot easier to be getting killed, obviously, as Greeks don't have any kind of option for healing, at least right about now. A bit later it can be an option through Apollon. Right, Apollon is having the healing temple, if I remember correctly, and for the Hades that is certainly an option, and actually one that would be expected, as that is usually what they are going for. All the way right about now here, so already gonna be finishing with the second DC for him. It was fairly prompt, and the second DC so far, curiously though, is not coming for back in action. RTS-Shelty, who's gonna be right now, well, maybe even killing Theseus, as he's finding himself in quite an unfortunate situation, and that 100 food and 50 gold, well, definitely could be spending it slightly better than only getting killed this way. Rather this way. Fairly interesting actually right about now strategy from Matreiuss, but to be honest, it is not exactly a novelty, especially from Matreiuss. We have seen it before. It's gonna be a long time. It was either some kind of tournament or a community game, but I definitely remember Matreiuss playing it a few months ago, basically trying to simulate a Zeus, and it actually was working rather well, and it wasn't any kind of problem basically going for the centaur spam. So let's right about now see how he's gonna be surprising the players, because obviously the players won't be really expecting anything like that all that much, as the volley on the left gonna have to be quite a lot more prolonged, especially right now with the missing wood line in there. It's gonna be a lot more difficult, like there maybe, and there, which is close by to the front TC. So it's kind of something that he wants, but problem is that the horses are already coming for him, and therefore nothing all that easy is gonna be waiting for that kind of red villager. Domantas is gonna be already building apparently combination of one stable and one archer range. He has so far only hand ducks, and nothing else is being researched across the game, as he's basically right now working on the house, which is also a bit of a protection. He maybe wanted to protect it slightly better, placing the house in there, but at the same time maybe he just wants to be keeping the kind of like way 3 right next to the TC. That certainly is not a bad option, and something that could be coming as a reality, as the Valkyrie has died for the opposing players, but the centaurs are still coming up in numbers with the Hippigons right next to them. He's having how many stables so far? One. So one stable on auto queue apparently. Yep. With right about now Centaurs already being gone. But it seems like that he's actually not having them auto queue. But he's still getting with 2 villages, which is fairly curious. Gonna be trying to catch after all of those Usaks all the way to the top, which is certainly so far working rather well. And he's still having even more helpers that could be in there engaging in the battle against Shelty, who's gonna be apparently finishing with the second TC as well. And in the meantime, quite curiously, Count actually going for even the front TC, which is, in his case, not exactly all that great. The wood line all around is making it like safe from the position that he doesn't want to be exactly keeping it safe, as it means that this gold is not entirely all that protected. But otherwise, he's even still gathering in the middle from the hand. And this is actually quite interestingly played, as he is kind of hoping, believing in his capabilities is better than hoping. That's what I wanted to say in there. In basically his capabilities in keeping the opponent under pressure and not exactly allowing him to be raiding him at all. But yeah, well, that might be exactly not becoming a reality all that much, as he's gonna be forced into a retreat with all the medium cavalry. Is there really a hole here? No, there's not. It almost looked like there actually is going to be a hole, but there is not. There is not. As right about now, Domantas is gonna be just keeping the safe and still continuing on pretty huge wall-ins. It's gonna be probably using even the stragglers to help him there ever so slightly. And right about now producing plenty of farms already, as the food is almost gone. And he is gonna be right now switching into gold at the backside. And since there are plenty of gold mines available for Domantas still, 1 and 2, well, he probably doesn't mind all that much. And he's gonna be happy to give it to his teammate in there. Definitely kinda curious about the 3 TCs here. If it's gonna be like fast track from Count. If he has learned something from the last tournament that was on Sunday. And the games didn't exactly go all that well for Count with Miracleman. If I remember correctly, they were playing together. And of course, the Catastropos all the way to the back is gonna be waiting for the Heroic Age, and much more probably for the Mythical Age, but rather for the Heroic Age God Power of the Underworld Passage in there. Yeah, exactly, using the stragglers here and there. The village just seems to be dead. Yeah, deader than that. Doesn't seem to be any kind of chance she's gonna be escaping to any kind of safety, but still the Count definitely nicely gauging that only 2 horses are gonna be enough to destroy her, and the rest can be already continuing all the way to the back, as he knows that the hunters are here, probably scouting through the fog of war that the animals are not having any kind of health bar on them anymore, so he knows exactly where to go. And that is very nice coordination right about now and cooperation between him and his teammate Matreiuss, and they're gonna be destroying quite plenty more than only that one builder, and of course disrupting the economy for Domantas, which might be a bit of an issue, as he's right now at 450 and he apparently seems to be slightly thinking about the Heroic Age, I'm expecting at this point. Even though he still could be using at least a few houses extra on there, but he definitely needs to be doing something about securing this part of the map, as the gold mine is going to be inevitably running out, as he's down to only about 900 right at this point. Still a bit of a scouting at the top, so apparently Domantas is not even gonna be continuing his presence in there for the Underworld Passage. Slightly interesting, as the horses are gonna be moving around, trying to raid onto Shelty. And so far we don't exactly see all that much of a presence of Shelty. In the early game he was having kinda nice fight. Right now, will he fight this? Yeah, exactly, really fight. Most of those horses are pretty much dead. So it's definitely worthwhile. As all the way to the left side, there are gonna be plenty of them still available right about now, as far as some kind of Teal army. But it's not exactly all that strong, so I'm kinda curious what actually gonna be the plan for Shelty. Right now, bragging for Count is not much of a surprise. And to be honest, he's playing a really excellent minimalistic game. Because he's all the time raiding and, well, exactly raiding, not exactly scouting, but raiding with about like 5 to 6 horses. That's pretty much his army. He's not losing the units, and he's keeping like the whole enemy army backwards. And basically this is allowing him to be getting the front TC even those that brazenly, going for 3 TC booming, and right about now even stealing the front TC from his opponent with really, yet again, not all that many units here. And at the same time, he's gonna be the first into the Heroic Age. So this is excellently played right about now by not exactly Hero P, he's in the other match, by Count. And I'm really looking forward to what this is gonna be resulting into, and it should be quite a reasonable Heroic Age, and of course, even a Mythical Age with the Balder in that. That's probably gonna be rather solid. As right about now, unfortunately, the Oxcar being destroyed is a bit of a nuisance, not much of it, as the TC is quite close by for him. As all the way to the top, this is right about now going to be heading into a really pretty big problem for Domantas, though he is the Greek, and as we repeat in pretty much like every stream when the Greek is at 2 TCs and a disadvantage, those are exactly the best suited to be overcoming that kind of thing, because 4 TC at 30 minutes is definitely gonna be strain on the economy, and might be, if he's not careful enough, disrupting even his timing. But yeah, you can see Count definitely coming into his gameplay today. He's gonna be already advancing into Balder at about 40 minutes, with Copper Mail Thor already coming forward, Apollo for Domantas at this point, and medium infantry, and this is gonna be one hell of a ruck. From 3 TCs with the 4th one already, bronze shields, copper weapons. No, well, we can already guess what's going to happen here, and it's not gonna be anything nice at all, especially if Green is gonna be able to keep his opponent sufficiently busy, as he has also gone for the front TC with the Heroic Age already coming for him as well, and he is gonna be probably at least scouting the front TC in there. So far he's only back in action doing that, but he should be taking an eye on that, as he is so far at least slightly ahead of his opponent, who has also walled up all the way to the top and gonna be dropping the market to already start with this. But this is gonna be really pretty big problem, and much bigger than anything else, as he's already having the whole baseline with the bronze there on top of everything. And hey Helit, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, hope you're gonna be having fun, the same as everybody else joining us so far. As in the middle there's still gonna be a bit of raiding and scouting going on by Green, who is already advancing through Hephaestus. And even though Domantas is apparently jumping into the Hephaestus as well, Balder is gonna be in no time with Iron Shields for Thor as well. Already in, and heavy infantry for back in action, not bad. But 14.5 minutes, kinda Ragnarok, which already could be coming into play, is gonna be definitely something that Count will be able to utilize properly, and Domantas might be having quite a struggle to defeat. Whoa, look at those resources. He's already popped, so he's gonna be coming already into a rack, because he's having all the resources that he can even sell and buy food for all the other upgrades. He's already having bronze weapons. He's gonna be getting for even more. Iron shields are exactly what we have seen a bit before, as Hephaestus is nicely on the way, but with all these units already prepared, medium raiders and stuff, and on the right side there is quite a nice attempt by Shelty to kinda like save the TC in here, so that it doesn't come into enemy hands. You can see even curse has been cast, and all the piggies are immediately going to be marked. It's gonna be, of course, right now blue knocking on the doors absolutely everywhere. This is just a bit of a Raven scouting all the way to the top, in case you were wondering on the minimap what's going on there. Now, Splitty has been cast, and of course the walls are not gonna be all that much of a hurdle for all those units, as they are already gonna be trickling through in huge numbers. Huge numbers indeed. Iron sheets are already there, and I really wouldn't be surprised if he's gonna be still continue, because we have seen he's having so many resources. Dragon skill shields, 45 DC for a bit more population limit, 45 DC, Forge of Olympus for Matreiuss, Forge of Olympus for Domantas as well. But I'm kind of thinking problem is that he's not gonna be even having enough time to deal with all of this. But restoration right now, no. It's gonna be a bit of a question where actually cast the restoration. It's gonna be a pretty big question indeed, where it's gonna be the best time. If he needs to be helping his teammate, as Frost, of course, against like half of the Ragnarok, is gonna be certainly quite good. But I'm gonna be quickly checking on the number of the heroes, and so that we can be coming back. Economy at about 86, so about like 80 Ragnarok. That's quite solid. As restoration is already coming forward, so of course gonna be restoring even a few hit points on the buildings in there. But right now this was like the last stand, and it still is, as unfortunately DC doesn't have all that many upgrades, only 45. Mason somewhere coming up. Nope, only copper shields with copper weapons, and Balder for Shelty though. So he could be still having quite a solid time in, though I'm kind of guessing that it's not gonna be having all that many upgrades as his opponent, as the 45 TC and all the upgrades for Matreiuss are gonna be really coming forward. Whereas on the right flank with Balder already coming in, has to be casting just about now, exactly before the frost. But you can see the difference. Copper mail, copper weapons, and the blue dudes are on already. Iron, he's even having dragon skill shields, but he could be using a bit more into copper there, or rather into copper mails, so basically getting bronze on that one against those teal dudes, as otherwise the tower shooting are certainly quite a bit of a problem for the blue, and teal is apparently gonna be getting at least a bit of advantage, but he still did manage to kill TC all the way to the back, even though right about now he's gonna have to retreat and do something different, as the TC has been destroyed for Domantas, putting both him and Shelty at only 1 TCs, whereas Matreiuss and Count are gonna be at 1, as of course this was kinda supplemented by a push on the right flank by Matreiuss, as he did not involve himself in the middle, and he's gonna be right now putting his all might of 4 TC, well prepared Poseidon, and of course Forge of Olympus with double bronze and copper into the battle, and that is something that even the Ragnarok from back in action aka Shelty is not going to be enough to deal with, as he can be able, at least executing a few heroes of Ragnarok on the right. Now gonna be still a few units available for Count von Count, but looking at 740 sees his basically replenishment of the economy should be incredibly fast. and he shouldn't be having all that much of a problem to basically push out a few units forward already. Right now he's having quite a solid economy, even though he's having right now low population limit from the 40Cs yet again, and especially the market. He's not gonna be taking a long time at all to be dealing with this, but apparently Underworld Passage, I have kind of seen it used before, right? No, I haven't. I was in some kind of hallucinations, kind of thought that I actually have seen it before, but apparently not, as a bit of an army is gonna be coming forward right now with still a few piggies from the curse from a bit before. No, this army doesn't seem to be all that much of a threat, to be honest, to matreiuss+, as he's already well prepared and well upgraded with heavy paspis and double iron and bronze. But I'm kind of thinking that Domantas might not be all that, or rather, yeah, Domantas might not be too far behind. So far, bronze shields, double copper, and more upgrades should be coming in no time. Yep, bronze weapons, bronze mail, even quarry and carpenters into the economy, as champion infantry and iron chains though are already in, and of course the fire giants are already coming forward, and the team at the bottom is recognizing that this is already gone, and they are not going to be winning this one. They're gonna have to try in another game. Okay, so that was quite nice. Quite nice strategy by Count, quite bold and quite efficient. Because he was literally using just a few units to keep his opponent busy and his whole army catching after him. And in the meantime, he was just basically building Echo. That was really quite nice. And Domantas kinda probably not exactly expecting what's going to happen in that. So he wasn't able to react properly and, for example, send his overseas on raiding himself. Nope, but Count is really good in this. If you remember, for example, in RTS League a few years back, he was able to do full upgraded Ragnarok in a 3v3 in RTS League in about 30 minutes. Full upgraded Ragnarok at 30 minutes. That was really epic and quite a strong one. It was, I now don't remember how strong it was. It probably wasn't 80, but it was really kind of impressive. So Count is really good with his Thor, and well, he has exactly shown that right about now. And it was also allowed by the fact that he was still continuing with the hunt in the middle of the game and middle of the map. That was really helping him immensely. And just exactly combined with the fact that Domantas was just defending the whole time and wasn't going for any kind of raiding at all. That was exactly what allowed him that kind of nice advance and all those upgrades. You can see matreiuss quite a nice economy. Whoa, it's actually rather really good economy for him. And Count, well, not gonna be winning any kind of like prizes for the Echo, but for example, combined with Shelty, there is quite a solid difference between them. That certainly is a military count because of the Heroes of Ragnarok. You can see Shelty wasn't kind of even able to match that too much with his own Ragnarok. They're otherwise fairly similar advanced timings. You can see Mythical Age for basically all of them within like 2 minutes, between 14 and 16. Classical Ages, obviously. Heroic Ages, also fairly similar. Yeah, the proper timings when you should be looking to advance into the next age. You can see only like about 65 Ragnarok for Shelty. That one from Count was a whole lot stronger, especially since he was having a lot more military units. And upgrades on top of everything. Okay then, GG.